Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Paulina Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. There's Paulina's name. Supportive Oracle cards. Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. Alright, what do we have for Virgo? We got one face down card, which usually just means until it happens, it's not gonna make sense. It's like a surprise sometimes. Surprise. We'll see what that is. Going into this, you got the World going into this. Okay, the World card. Here's the World card. And you got Protection and Path. So it's kind of like, I don't think this is bad at all. I think this is actually really good. Going into this situation, it's kind of like, it's like buying a new house. It's kind of like I'm moving into a new house and I plan to be there for a long time. But wherever you're living and what you're doing, like it takes a lot of work and a lot of planning. And, you know, the path with the protection is kind of like, I feel like you're creating your own protection. When I'm seeing the bird, it's almost like building that nest. So it doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be buying a house, but it seems like it. Kind of like whatever you're setting up here, you're not only protecting your self with it, you're protecting other people with it too. It seems to be more of a like inclusive feel. Even if it's like a work situation and you're going into a certain project, you're making it in the sense of like this is going to last a while, and the people I want involved, I want them to feel like this is benefiting them the same way it's benefiting me, so we'll all work together and want to be here. Because you're trying to make that energy, kind of like I want the people here to want to be here, to feel that enjoyment. And the beauty and the Five of Pentacles are very interesting in my opinion, because it's in the environment, and it's kind of like people are looking at this like a daunting task is what I'm looking at it. That's how it feels like. It's like, oh, a mountain right in front of me. Oh, it's going to be so long before we're used to it. It's going to be so long before we're comfortable. It's kind of like how they're looking at it. But the beauty is kind of like once it gets to a certain point, it will be good. So they seem to know that. It will be good at a certain point, and it will be worth it. But to start off, it's like hard to start. It's like it's such a task. Like this isn't like just buying a house. It's like building a house to them. To you, it's buying a house and like doing the renovations and putting it together and making this like this. And it's going to take some time to get it all situated the way you want it. But this person, whoever this is, looks at it like it's building a house. Like, all right, we got to dig this. We got to put that in. We got to get this in there. We got to get these walls here. We got to get the bottom section first. And then we got to do this. And then we got to do that. They're looking at it that way. So that's the difference of viewpoints. Like, why is there, like it's kind of like, it reminds me, this part reminds me of like when you're eating something and it's not the best, but it's good. It's like it's good for you, but maybe it doesn't taste the best. That's what this part feels like. Like it doesn't taste the best, but it's something that's good for you. Page of Swords with the attraction. Again, your energy comes into it differently than this other person's. It's kind of like, you know, everything can't be great. Everything can't be super delicious. Like, we got to eat things that are good for us. Like, it's almost like, for me, carrots. Like, I eat carrots, but I don't really care for them, but I eat them. And it's kind of like the reason like, I'm eating these because they're good for me. It's kind of like this. You're doing that. Like, we need to put some of this in there. Everything can't be cake and ice cream. We got to have some substance here. Got to have something that's good. So you're eating foods that are good for you. It's kind of like that analogy. And they're like, to them, it's just kind of like it's a very mealy, like, I don't want this. Like, I guess I do have to eat it. It's better. It's healthier. But, you know, some people go towards health food and they're just like, bleh. Like, bleh. That's how they feel about it. Attraction is telling me it is working, and you're kind of like, no, this is good. This is what's going to make this situation work out. We need to have some of these elements in here. But the energy between you and this person is kind of like, you can tell they're kind of dragging their feet. But they're doing what they have to do, but it's interesting. It's kind of like your opinion of it is like, oh, this is a good building block to the situation. This is good. It may not taste the best, but it's still good. And they're kind of like, bleh. Bleh. Success is coming forward on your side, I'm noticing. This is where the face down card comes in. Okay, this is why. Now, they're coming in. I flipped the face down card, so it makes sense why. The Page of Pentacles comes in. The Sovereignty. At this point in the game, they haven't seen enough return to really be excited about it. They know what's going to happen, but they're not really feeling it. They're not really seeing it. So they're not feeling what's coming out of this. They're not getting excited about, like, you know, it's kind of like we're not even halfway through building the house, in their opinion. It's like they're just over it. They're just kind of like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. But you're, on the other hand, kind of like, no, we're doing good. This is going to head somewhere great. Like, you see the end goal. You keep working towards the end goal. Your energy has success and realization. Like, you have to kind of like push this over to them. Like, listen, we're on our way. We're doing really well. This just has to go a little farther, and you'll start seeing it come together. Like, a little farther to you might be like 3 or 4 months. But to them, it's like 10 years. It's kind of like, you keep like, hey, we're going well. We didn't come this far just to like throw away all this work. We've done so much work. We got to keep going, keep doing it. Success is here. And you seem to be that person. You have to be a little bit of that cheerleader. Like, success is here. Realize we got to go keep going, and we've gone so far. We can't just throw this away. The Page of Pentacles with the Sovereignty is like they're following. Like, you have this person, like you're making your point, and they're following the plan. Because I'm like, when I'm saying following, I don't know if they're following you, because it didn't feel right. But like, they're following the plan. They're sticking to the plan. They're going with the plan. And you're reminding them and trying to get them excited. You're not really getting them excited about it, but you're giving them the reasons. Like, keep going. Don't veer off plan. Keep going. Keep going. And they do that. The Page of Pentacles is kind of like, I'm doing it because I'm supposed to do it. I'm doing it because I agreed to do it, but they don't really want to do it at this point. This is a great card. This was face down, the Four of Pentacles. Everything stays solidified together. Everything does go together as it is supposed to. It keeps going. It does keep going. The face down, I think, is because there's a moment here where you're like, are we going to lose this? Like, we've put in some work. I don't want to, like, stop now. I don't want to, like give up on this. You don't. It's going to keep going. But for a minute there, it looks like they might kind of, like, cut left. You know, just exit left or whatever you want to call it. But they don't. They don't. It looks like it for a second there, though, is what I'm getting. Now, the end of it is really good. Are there edits? What's going on here? You got the Three of Cups in the environment. It does seem to come together, but it doesn't come together exactly how you thought it would. But it does come together. Very good social connections. Seven of Swords, to me, it's kind of like, there was a couple, in this deck especially, it seems like there was a couple, I want to say snafus, or things that didn't work out quite as well. There was a little bit of randomness or some type of changes here or there that didn't ruin anything, but it just didn't kind of turn out as expected. It's almost kind of like, you know, we were gonna you know, take down the banister and redo the stairs a certain way, and they got redone, but it's kind of like they were going to go this way, but then they ended up going straight down, and they were a different style than expected. So it's still good, except not exactly what the plan was, is what I'm getting. I also see you kind of looking at this like it is what it is at this point. It still turned out good, just not as expected. But it's still like not exactly as expected, but still, like, example, you know, the stairs were supposed to be taken down and rebuilt over this way. They did get taken down, they did get rebuilt, but they are different style and straight down instead of. And you're like, I almost feel like you're like, I don't really like the way that worked out, but it's still good. It's still good. And I feel like that's how you're looking at it. Like, don't really like the way that worked out, but still good. There's like, I'm getting the hiccups there. It's kind of like, it might be a little thing that kind of annoys you a little bit. But again, I feel like you keep calming yourself with that kind of like, it's still good. It's still good. It's fine. It's still good. You've got the High Priestess with the creation. At this moment, there's more things coming in. It's almost like whoever this is wants to do another project when they get that far. They want to do another project with you. But at this point, I feel like you're looking at like the next project kind of like, all right, the person I just dealt with, during this situation, they did want to give up. They didn't give up, but they wanted to. And they did change some things that I didn't really want them to change. They weren't that big of a deal, but they did change some things that I really didn't want. I really didn't want them to, but they did. It's fine. I almost get like I'm getting to that energy. Like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You know, when you're like, it's fine, but it's not. Like, yeah, it's fine. It's one of those things. Going into another situation, I feel like you really have to think about, well, how long would that situation last? And it's kind of like, what random things would change and how much would that annoy me? Because I almost feel like you have to evaluate with the High Priestess, like, do I really want to create another thing with them? I'm not sure you really want to. I feel like what they're saying is like step back and give it like a month if you can to kind of like think it over, or at least a week, but I'd say a month because it feels like it might dissipate on its own. If you can hold it off for a month, if you can find a way to hold off this decision for a month, it will just kind of dissipate on its own. And whatever this situation is, I feel like the next one is like, ironically, it may sound really good, but I feel like when you're looking at it, like, yeah, but then I have to keep them motivated. I have to keep them going. They want to give up, and then they change random things, and I don't really care about that. They're saying this is nothing you have to do. If you just kind of hold off the decision for like a month, it'll dissipate and disappear on its own. Of course, if you decide it's worth it for you and you want to do it again, do what you got to do. But I don't feel like you want to. I really don't think you're going to want to because you're going to look back and be like, I don't really want to do that again. A peaceful ending is just hold off the decision for a month and it'll just kind of dissipate on its own. Alright, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.